Hi guys, White Witch 110 here. This is the Ottawa sky this evening. I thought you might like to look at it while I get back to the story. You could just think that we're in my backyard or out at the park, looking up at the sky, relaxing. Let me know down below what you see in the clouds. Let's get on with the story. Mel woke in the morning full of hope he'd finally be happy. He took extra care with his wardrobe and wore cologne. He wasn't sure if he was being pushy. Hi, Nicole. Abigail had invited her cousin over. How are things? Wonderful, she smiled. I feel whole for the first time in forever. Never thought I'd hear you say those words. No matter. What happened, you both felt it. Scott came through the front door. Hey, Nicole, how are you? He gave her a hug. Is Brad here? After work. For now, you have to suffer with me. She laughed. I think I can handle that. He walked over to Abigail. Hey, babe. He kissed her softly as they embraced. Glad you're home. There it was, the unmistakable connection. It filled the house with a warmth no fireplace could match. When Brad arrived, Scott helped him in with dinner. Chicken, spare ribs, fries, and salads. Scott had made carrot cake while they waited. Scott, this is damn good. I didn't know you could bake, Nicole said. I honestly didn't think it would taste good. Gee, thanks, he said, mockingly upset. It was a very enjoyable evening they hadn't had in a long time. No drama. Going through a drawer the next day, in the side table, Scott found an envelope with his name on it. He took it over to the comfy chair and opened it. Dear Scott, I'm not sure if I'll send this letter. I'm missing you more than you'd expect. I suppose you and Sally are enjoying life. My heart is broken in so many pieces. I'm not sure it will ever come together again. I can't watch TV. You're all over it. I don't listen to the radio either. That voice should be whispering in my ear. I'm sitting here crying. It's become an everyday thing for me. The pain is too much for me. I'll never stop loving you. That isn't within me to do that. I need you back in my life. Please reconsider. Come back. I didn't want you to go. I didn't want the damn divorce. From the beginning, I've been your woman, even though you never felt it. Please come home. Wrap those strong arms around me. Sing sweet words to me. Kiss me more than 1,000,000,000 times. I love you more deeply, loyally, and honestly than any other. Love forever, your breath of fresh air. Abigail had had the letter for some time now. He read it over and was just finishing when she walked in. I found this in the drawer when I was looking for my notebook. Abigail blushed. I wrote it a while ago. Scott motioned her towards him. No more pain. She sat on his lap. Love you forever. For the first time, he said the words with more meaning than he ever had. I love you forever. Abigail Wilson. No one else but us. Tender touches, tender kisses, minutes of just gazing into each other's eyes. Moments when words were not needed. Did they make love? Not this time. Sometimes you don't need to. Sometimes just being in the same space is enough. Mel and Justin sat across from each other at work. Sorry, I'm just checking. There's a stink bug here. They acted very professional. No one could guess they were seeing each other. When 4 o'clock came, they didn't leave together. They spent time on the phone from their homes. Slowly they began to know more about each other. There was a bond growing at a rate both approved of. So Mel, tell me, are you falling for Justin? Abigail was curious. I find him attractive and I enjoy his company. I'd like to be his boyfriend, but we'll see. Do you think he may stay with a man or maybe come back to a woman? I can't answer that. If this doesn't work out, you never know. Sage was hoping to see Abigail about town. He didn't want to call unless Scott answered. He had no luck. Sage thought of dropping by the mansion, but didn't. If Scott would go on tour, maybe he could win her over. He wasn't going to give up. He went into Dan's for something to eat. He sat at the bar. You staying this time? Dan asked him. Yeah. Not moving anywhere. Why? Just wondering. You seen Abigail lately? No, but I understand she's singing here. Sage had ordered his food. Yes, her and Scott. She doesn't sing alone. You know they're engaged. I did mention that, didn't I? Dan wanted to make sure he understood. You've mentioned it a few times. Hey, we all know what ends up happening. Not this time. It's different. What makes it different? They're the same people. Not so. They have finally woken up. It's going to stick this time. Believe me, I know what I'm saying. To change the subject, he mentioned Mel. Have you heard about Mel? What about him? Sage was annoyed. He's gay. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Heard he thought you were attractive. But he's seeing someone now. Guess you missed out. Dan was being an ass. No chance here. I only swing one way, and that's to Abigail. Don't you listen. She's with Scott. You don't have a chance. They're solid. Dan was frustrated. You may think they are, Sage pointed out. Leave them alone. If you respect Abby, you won't play with their relationship. What, like Scott played with ours? Sorry, it don't work that way. Sage finished eating, paid, and left. When leaving, he bumped into Mel. Hey, I hear congrats are in order. For what? Mel asked. Your boyfriend. He seen the look on his face. Dan told me. And by the way, although I'm flattered, I don't play that way. He left, leaving Mel stunned. He was in rare form, Abigail. I'm telling you. He was upset. I just thought you should know. Dan told me he isn't giving up. He doesn't understand to leave you alone. Dan told Scott the same thing. I feel like we need to sneak around and avoid him. I'm scared to go out in case he's there. I don't want the drama. Honey, just make sure one of us is with you. I'm afraid of what Scott might do, Mel informed her. He's not happy. Wouldn't be a bit surprised if he punched him. Abigail was back to walking on eggshells, nervous to meet up with Sage. She didn't want anything but friendship. Sage was always like a dog with a bone. He wouldn't let it go. Scott, should we stay away from Dan's? He knows we're singing there. I don't want to see him. Sweetie, Sweetie, I promise to keep myself cool. After all, I know who I come home to each night. He's no threat to me anymore. Abigail still felt uneasy. All she could think of was, here we go again. What kind of bullshit was this? Sage had invited an old friend to stay with him. Jan and Sage had known each other since they were young. He met her at the airport. "Sage," she shouted across the terminal. The old friends embraced. "About time you came out to visit." "Well, you're staying put long enough this time," Jan told him as she laughed. They made their way to his car. "So where are you living?" "I got a place in town. You'll like it." "As long as I have a bed, I'm good." Jan thought for a moment. "I was wondering, have you seen your ex?" "Yeah, but nothing to write home about. She's back with Scott. They're playing happy couples right now. I'm sure it won't last, it never does," Sage informed her. "You want her back that badly?" "I'm not desperate, but yeah, I'd like to get back with her." "I don't know what to say. Should I say good luck?" she asked. "I'll say thank you if you do." Jan got settled in Sage's spare room. "Any chance I'll meet her?" "I doubt it unless we bump into her in town," he answered. That night, the two made their way to Dan's for dinner. It was a fluke. The Scott and Abigail were singing 50-50 on it actually being a fluke. "Hey, Sage," Dan greeted. Sage made the introduction. Dan pulled him aside. "I don't want any problems." "You can leave right now if you're planning any." "No, I'll be a good boy. Don't worry. Can we get some menus?" Dan quickly brought over menus and assigned a waitress. "Nothing like being warned as soon as you walk in," Jan said. "I understand where he's coming from. He's a good friend, really close with Abigail." "Will he tell them you're here?" Sage looked over at the bar. "He doesn't need to. She's here." "Invite her over. I can play that I'm your girlfriend." "No, she knows I don't have one. I'm not going to play games." Jan could see that her friend was helplessly infatuated with this woman. It wouldn't matter what she'd say. The food was good and the old friends caught up. "Babe, did you see who's here?" "He has a date with him," Scott whispered in her ear. "It's an old friend. Dan told me. I don't remember her." "Did he know we were here tonight?" "I don't know. I don't care. And I'm not going to say hello." Abigail made herself clear. Dan made the usual introduction, and they walked out on stage. The bar was packed with fans. Abigail and Scott were popular. It was more than Scott's name pulling them in now. At the end of the evening, the crowd showed their appreciation with a standing ovation. Abigail could feel the flush in her cheeks. She kept her word and didn't approach Sage when he came off stage. Unfortunately, that couldn't be said for him. He made his way straight towards them. They didn't move quickly enough. "Abigail, Scott, great show," Sage shouted, walking towards them. "Hey, Sage, glad you could catch it." Scott said, half-hearted. Jan moved forward. "Hello, I'm Jan." Sage has always been terrible at introductions. She laughed. "You must be Abigail." She held out her hand. "Yes, nice to meet you, Jan." She shook her hand. "How long are you visiting for?" "Not sure yet. I work remotely, so I don't need to be at any one location. If I like it here, I may stay. Sage is always talking this place up. Maybe I'll find what he has." Jan glanced towards Scott. Abigail seen it and wondered if it was part of a plan Sage was hatching. And I think we'll leave it right there. Keep you guessing. Where did my piece of paper go? I had a piece of paper here. Oh well. Anyways, I'll just mark it with flipping over the page. Well, I hope you enjoyed that installment. Leaving you hanging as always. So remember, down below to let me know what you've seen in the clouds. Like I said, it's a nice evening. Not too hot. So I hope you've all had a good Monday. And that you're going to have a good Tuesday tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And if you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos. If there's something you find that you're interested in, please give it a thumbs up. Drop me a comment. Share it out if you think someone else might be interested. It's always appreciated. While you're here, consider subscribing. And if you do, remember to click the notification bell so that you'll know the next time that I upload. And to my current subscribers, thank you very much for coming by. Greatly appreciated as always. You guys mean the world to me. If you have any comments, leave them down below. I will get back to you. We can chit chat. So until the next time, as always, ciao for now.